I will bless the Most High at all times, and His praises shall continually be in my mouth. What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to another Real Talk. I want to talk about nothing new under the sun. Oftentimes, we quote this. We oftentimes say, yeah, man, ain't nothing new under the sun. There is nothing new under the sun. But I want to do a lot of us really understand what this meant. And when Solomon in Ecclesiastes chapter 1, when he started really talking about his mistakes, his life, what he went through, his accomplishments, and the way that he failed. And how many of us can honestly say that there have been times in our life where we were so mad at the choices that we made that we felt like it was just no hope left. That we done messed up so bad in life that we feel like it's no brighter day. It's nothing else really left to live for. And Solomon felt like this because he had all the wisdom. But then he remembered how he failed when he had his heart turned from God. And when your heart is turned from God, when you so far away from the Most High, you should feel exactly like Solomon felt. Solomon was very hard on himself. Ecclesiastes is a book you can say that you don't want to overlook. This is the part of Solomon most preachers don't want to talk about because they so busy talking about the prosperity that they don't talk about the downfall of when you done had everything and how you can have everything under the sun and lose everything right up under the sun. So when Solomon made that statement, there's nothing new under the sun, look at what he was talking about and what he had went through. When you read Ecclesiastes, just read the whole chapter 1. But he really get down with it on verses 4 through 11. He's oftentimes called the preacher. The preacher. Solomon lays this out here, y'all. Solomon is talking about life on earth. Life on earth. And he was really getting to the point in his message where how life on this earth is nothing when the Most High is left out of it. And he shows us it didn't matter how much money, how much wisdom, how much material things, how many wives he had, all of that stuff brought him down at the end. We see what's going on right now. So many people are chasing so many things. But Solomon was letting us know that it don't matter how exciting all the stuff that we're going through in this life under the sun, without the Lord, it don't have no meaning at all. I like when Solomon says a generation goes and a generation comes. He say, but the earth remains forever. And I got a news flash for you, y'all. Because if we think the generation after generation after generation is going to get better, you might as well just hang that up. You might as well be already disappointed. Because if we can't get what we doing right now, why do we expect the ones to come up under us to do better? We can look at Israel generation after generation and see how they slept back into the same thing that the ones before them did. We can look at our generation and see how we keep on coming up with generations of the same old thing because there is nothing new under the sun. Under the sun. We are under the sun on earth right now. That's what Solomon was getting at. Everything that we see, everything that we doing, he pretty much said that it was meaningless. But somebody might take this the wrong way, like there is no eternal life. Like that. See, when Solomon wrote this back then, understand the time frame and what he had went through. And he's trying to show us that with all the wisdom, you can still make some terrible decisions. And this book is a great way for us to learn from Solomon, not to fall into what Solomon fell for. The wisest man, the man that had the wisdom, the material things, the wealth, the man that had it all, but now look at him crying out. Look at him disappointed at himself. Look at him in these scriptures. I told you the preachers a lot of times not all don't like to talk about the downside of this man. This is the part of Solomon that you really don't want to hear about, but it's a lesson for us. Generation goes and another generation comes, but the earth remains forever. Then he says the sun rises and then the sun goes down and hastens to the place where it rises. In other words, look at the sun. It come up, it go down, then it go right back up to the place where it started at. Solomon's saying ain't nothing new, y'all. He's comparing it with this. Even the sun gonna go up and gonna go back down. He say then the wind blows to the south and goes around to the north. Around and around goes the wind, and on its circuits the wind returns. Nothing new under the sun. All streams run to the sea, but the sea is not full. To the place where the streams flow, there they flow again. Everything goes back to its natural place. Then he says, all things are full of weariness. A man cannot utter it. The eye is not satisfied with seeing, nor the ear filled with hearing. See how hard he was on himself, y'all? Because he's talking about what he done seen, what he done went through once again. In other words, I got all this wisdom, but what I'm seeing, it just really ain't all that fair. What I'm hearing, what I'm going through, I done went through all of this. Then he say, what has been is what will be, and what has been done is what will be done, and there is nothing new under the sun. Is there a thing of which it is said? See, this is new. It has been already in the ages before us. Why do some of us act like some of the stuff we seeing right now is new? We act like a lot of stuff that we seeing is brand new, like it ain't never happened before. Some of us acting like we going through something ain't nobody else ever went through before. When you look at this, what Solomon is saying, then compare it with our own life, there is nothing new. Now, we might have thought from growing up, I heard my mama say yesterday when we was having a long conversation, she said, Ro, I would never think in my life that I would see what I'm seeing now. I didn't think I would be here to see same-sex marriage. I wouldn't have thought I would have saw all this legalized and everything now. The church doing this, the family coming against each other. She said, not when I was little coming up. I would have never thought that. And I thought about Ecclesiastics. And I even said that in my life growing up. I never thought I would see family turn on the way family is turning now. I never thought I would see two men get married now. I never thought I would see sin get so out of hand. I never thought that I would see so many people go up against the word of God, including the president on down. I wouldn't have thought that growing up. But look at what Solomon is saying. What you really expect not to happen, it's going to happen. The things that you thought you wouldn't see, you're going to see. Why? Because there is nothing new under the sun. Nothing new. He say there is no remembrance of former things, nor will there be any remembrance of later things yet to be among us who come after. Let me say this about this, y'all. Once again, because we keep talking about the next generation got to do better. Let me say this once again. If you putting hope in the next generation, and you're looking at this generation and what we're doing now, you're wasting time. You're setting yourself up for a huge disappointment. It won't be no different because we're not doing different. There is nothing new under the sun. When you think about it, there is nothing really changing. I just got through talking to Brother K. Ray. I said, you know what, K. Ray, only thing is changing now is names and faces. And we can say time. But you think about it, the ways of folks, jealousy, envy, racism, you name it, whatever it is, it's not going nowhere. It's just different names and different faces. History really does repeat itself, y'all. But once again, Solomon is comparing this to our natural world, this physical world we living in, because we see the same cycle. That's why he say the sun go up, the sun go down. We are under the sun. We are always looking and listening and trying to figure out how to be satisfied. But you notice people that's rich and everything, they still want more. They ain't never satisfied. Nothing new under the sun. Nothing new. You know what? Let me say something off the wall here. We always, let me say this right. We always talking about the generations. I might need to do a separate video on this generation thing. But do we ever go back? Y'all, Pastor Cochran was just talking about this. But do we ever go back to find out where the other generations messed up at? He was just talking about this with this idolatry. Please look at that sermon that Pastor Cochran just did. We don't never go back to find out what is it that the other generations was doing. Where was they lacking at? And why are we still doing what they doing? And wonder why we keep making the same mistakes. We don't even want to go back to try to figure out who we are, what we done, and try to correct it. But we expecting the next generation to do better. Ain't nothing new under the sun. Y'all, you know what I started doing? I learned to stop trying to get what I needed under the sun, and I started focusing on the one who created the sun, who made the sun, the creator. I stopped looking at so much of the creation and started putting my focus on the creator. Yes, the Lord made everything good. It's beautiful. But some of us are too busy trying to focus on all this other stuff except the kingdom. Solomon was saying it don't matter what we do, how we do it under the sun, it's nothing new. Life without God is a terrible life. That's what Solomon was showing us. Out of all of his mistakes, he had forgot about the Creator. He had all the wealth, but he had forgot about the Creator. He had all them women, and then he forgot about the Creator once again. Vanity. Vanity can be a confusing word to a lot of people in the way that you use it. But I like to say this is vanity of human toil. What is vanity? And then when you look it up, excessive pride in one's appearance, qualities, abilities. In Solomon's case, we can say achievements, etc., so on and so on. Character or quality of being vain is another definition. Conceit is another definition. Lack of real value is another definition. Hollowness. Brother told me the other day, JT, my holidays became hollow days. Y'all heard what I'm saying? The vanity of a selfish life. He say life is pointless if you don't have the Most High. Life is messed up when you got everything else in front of the Most High. Solomon was saying it just don't make sense to him. He said, even out of all the wisdom I gained, Solomon was hard on himself. Matter of fact, read the whole chapter. He was so hard on himself, he started looking at wisdom kind of in a bad way. He was so hard on himself. But we know what he meant. We might think that we seeing something new out here, y'all, but it's already done happened. I can relate to this because I can talk about, myself, my disappointments. How at one time I turned from the Most High. How I was doing my own thing. I had money in my pocket. I had the nice job. I was making money here, money there. I felt so good and I thought I had it going on until I realized I didn't have no relationship and I was on my way to total destruction. Ain't nothing new under the sun. So when we quote this now, we should have a different outlook other than just saying, boy, ain't nothing new under the sun, is it? A lot of us say that and just be like, yeah, man, ain't nothing new under the sun. But what was Solomon saying, and why did he say that, and what did he mean by there's nothing new under the sun? Look at his life. Now go in the mirror and look at yourself and reflect back over your life and then take a good look at where you are at now. And if you are not happy with where you are at now, what are you doing to get better than where you are? Or are you just going to give up? May the Most High bless you and keep you. Y'all have a wonderful, blessed day. Peace.